Okay, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another Amateur League of Legends VOD review. My name is Freedom Potatoes. I'm a diamond mid laner playing in a Masters 100 LP capped league here. And this week our team was up against Team Primordial Spire. So we got a couple games to get into here. So for game one here, I'm playing Ziggs into Jace mid. We've got kind of a mix of like poke and all in on the enemy team. Similar deal going for us. I think fairly evenly matched team compositions, except that Brand is like a really good jungler right now and really good again to Maokai. But let's get into some gameplay. So early game was going like pretty well for me, I think. Kind of just matching the Jace, which according to the stat sites is like not a great matchup for Ziggs, although I haven't really played it that much. And the first real bit of action we get is 8 minutes into the game. So we see Brand going to his jungle and we try to look for a hard engage on him. Our jungler flashes in and I throw ult, but he gets knocked away from me. And so I'm not really able to follow up with damage and I get zoned off by Jace. Our Ashe hits a great ult on him, but our target focus is quite split. And so, yeah, like the Brand gets away and then our jungler drops. We do get the Jace, but I think I'm completely and the play doesn't really go our way. So, yeah, I think all three of us die 3 for 1. Not great. So a few things happen here. One is that the Brand was like kind of unexpectedly slow. Yeah, so we were looking pretty early because we were expecting him to be here on this timer. But he didn't actually show up when we expected him to, which meant that I had to go back mid, and in order to get prio, I blew more mana on the wave. That meant that I had no mana during the fight, and that was one of the reasons why we weren't in as good of a state to take said fight. Going for poke on Jace also means my prio comes through a little later, and all that. So, yeah, a bit of a miscommunication. I do think, like, for the sake of my own ego a little bit, or perhaps for a jungler, I do think when he gets this route, he should be looking to walk the other way, because right now he's knocking Brand away from me, and like I'm 100% expecting Brand to get queued this way, like into the middle of these two guys, so I can, try to hit both of them. But yeah, instead he gets knocked away, and like that also means that I'm not really able to follow up damage. And like we can't really hit the same person. We're just kind of each taking our own 1v1s, which like in our current state, Jace beats me 1v1, and I think Brand is also like decently effective in the 1v1 against Maokai. Yeah, so that's the first major play that goes wrong. So after that, I'm kind of just chilling mid, looking to farm, maybe set up Herald, and the enemy MF walks mid. She burns her E, and then she ults me. I try to flash to safety here, and it very nearly works. Like, I do dodge this Jace's EQ combo, but the AoE manages to get me. I don't know if I could have lived if I pushed S, but that's not me. That's me not being super aware of like enemy bot lane back timers, and also the MF having so much move speed to get back on the map and influence mid there. You can see kill score is like it's 10 to 3. Like we have a pretty hard time coming back from that. So yeah, game spirals out of control and we end up losing. Like we barely get any more kills the rest of the game. It was pretty sad. Mental was really rough after this one, but our ADC player had a great speech to kind of try to get us back in for game 2, which I will not be showing at this time, but maybe in the future. Now on to game 2. They're running a pretty similar comp here, except we banned the Jace this time and then they picked Corki, which I think is actually like a much better champion. I really don't like playing against him right now. I ended up on Tristana mid, which is not something I play a lot. And in order, kind of the intention here was for me to be sort of a late game insurance policy damage wise, and so I ran lethal tempo. This is something I'm not necessarily a huge fan of actually, because their team is very bursty. It was actually hard for me to like stack attacks into them to proc lethal tempo, and I think I would have liked to like win the early game harder to make Corki less of an issue, because the way the lane ended up playing out is like I wasn't able to find the roams that I wanted to, and then Corki just kind of outskills and becomes like a huge poke threat, which I don't like. Yeah, so getting into, I was able to kind of shove the wave and take an early reset, which lets me jump in on him with my jungler there. But I mean, Corki's got flash up, so he's able to get out. Yeah, we get Corki's flash, but nothing really ends up coming of it. So nothing too bad there. The next play that happens is we're looking for, or well, we were thinking about going for Herald, but the enemy team got it first. But Corki's kind of out of position with no W here, so I ping our Bard to go in, and he does take it, which I'm a big fan of. I really like that we go for this play, and I'm able to clean him up, but we do get rooted kind of under the enemy tower, and then the GP ult comes down, and Udyr shows up, so like both of our players that are there get chunked down, and then I mess up by not buffering the Maokai W here. I wasn't expecting him to flash in, so I get rooted. That I should have better reaction time to. Ziggs gets one kill back, but then he has to flash. But yeah, should not really be dying to enemy support with when I have W and flash both up. Yeah, but overall the game's still pretty close. 8 kills to 6. I do think like enemy team outscales a little bit, but this is playable. So here they're looking for Dragon. Our team isn't really in position, so I shove out bot first. I should maybe be approaching with the team here. Kind of uncertain opinion-wise on that, but yeah. Drag gets low. Our Ziggs looks for a steal with ult, which I'm not sure is the right call because I don't think it gets that much damage. And then I like my position here because I'm coming in during a Nocturnal with kind of a flank. So like MF goes into ult and I'm able to pop some shots into her. But the GP, Udyr, and Corki have kind of like run over my team in the meantime. So I'm able to get the MF and jump out. But they've got people chasing me. Gameplank still has ult this whole time. And even though I get over the wall, Maokai W comes through and the rest of the team's there to clean me up. So I maybe should have been with the team. Although I don't think the flank angle is like a bad idea. Just I'm not completely sure without like looking at the video from another perspective what went wrong there. But that's kind of a recurring story this game where we aren't there first to the objective, and so without setup, it's really hard for us to walk into Corki, MF, and Maokai, plus Gameplank setting up barrels. Like, I think big takeaway as a team here is that we need to be earlier to those objectives when they have that amount of setup, because we can't afford to be like walking in. We either need to give and like push side lanes because our team has a really good split push potential here, or we need to focus more on showing up first. And then a similar story plays out here where so this time we are here a little earlier. We're kind of set up in the dragon pit. I'm able to walk into like an unwarded spot. I've got like front line around me, but our Ziggs is split off. And so because like the team's kind of backed away, this position I'm in kind of becomes like not ours. So I have to kind of back up and play a little slower. I try to land some damage on that guy, but like we don't have vision. So I can't really like free hit. Yeah, I wish I could have like been free hitting more this game, but because I can't, I am not really able to utilize my range advantage and like the keystone that I took. And then like because he gets low, our Mord has to ult the Maokai. I don't really think there's anyone else he could have ulted, like because Gameplank would just orange it and Corki would probably just kill him. So I don't hate that, but I do wish I'd been able to like hit that guy more. And then I lose vision here and my mental stack gets kind of overwhelmed. Like I'm feeling like, we have to win this fight because I think that was soul for them. We're in a pretty rough spot. I eat a lot of damage, I think, from a Gameplank barrel. And then I walk into the bush, kind of thinking that Udyr was running away, but he turns back around on me. And then I just like kind of panic W in, and this whole time Corki's got package, MF has ult, we get wiped, and yeah, from there the game really gets into an unwinnable state. Yeah, but overall I still feel better about this game than like the previous few that we played. I think our mental was really bad in some of the previous games, and this time we found like we found some angles. We were looking for plays that might not have worked out, but I think that's like the type of thing we need to be looking for to improve if we're going to find wins in this league, because we are up against like in a lot of cases players who just average like a full division above us at times, and that's hard to play against. But yeah, we learn what we can. We go into the next week feeling better. I think we'll be able to pick up some wins. So I hope this was educational for you. Tried to go through kind of quick through it, and yeah, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next part. Farewell.